Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Postgame Podcast. Presented by PointsBet. Use that promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. That was a doozy, huh?
We're vibing, baby.
Losing 2 out of 3 to the Cincinnati Reds.
Yikes.
Throwing away a game.
Yikes.
After stealing a game, after throwing away a game.
Oh, here comes the comments, Stucky.
Cody Delmendo and Luke Stuckmeyer, after a rough one, the bid for 63 continues. Still looks likely, but not the way they're playing right now. This had all the highs and lows of all the kind of games you want to see in the fall.
In September. If your
This
team is good.
If your team's good, this is exciting. Instead, leadoff walk in the ninth by Leiter. That's the end of it, you know. And yet we can all complain about the bullpen, but they traded away their 4 best arms in the bullpen. So what's the point? What's the point about complaining? There's no point in complaining about it.
Yeah, there really is no point complaining. I will say this, like, I said this on the couch, like, why not just bring in Jeremiah Estrada in that moment? I know he pitched yesterday. I know he gave up a homer to Aquino, but, like, isn't this what we envision him to be?
Right.
Isn't this what he's supposed to be, a high-leverage back-end arm?
Right.
At least if we blow the game with him, it's like, all right, it's growing pains. But no, we're going to throw out Mark Leiter Jr. No offense to you, brother. But, like, dude, you're barely going to make the roster next year. Barely. Maybe. And the only
Big
way
maybe.
that you do is because of injury and because of, like, I don't know, like, just some crazy shit. And it's nothing against him. Like, he has gotten farther and done better at the game of baseball than I ever have and ever will. But, like, Mark Leiter and Jr., like, we're not talking about Jack. We're talking about Mark Leiter Jr. in the 9th inning in a game that you had a lead in. I loved Matt Clapp's tweet. He was like, this is a vintage tank win for the Cubs. Like, I was like, yeah, because it's like we tried to give the game away if we were going to throw Mark Leiter Jr. out there to close the game. Like, I don't know. That's I'm not complaining about the bullpen. I'm complaining that we use Mark Leiter Jr. instead of, like, just one of these high leverage arms. I know they used Manny Rodriguez and they used Brandon Hughes beforehand, so that's fine. But, like, again, like, why not someone else? No, anyone but Mark Leiter Jr. in the 9th inning to try and get 3 outs. And that's all I ask.
For me, it was about how it all unfolded at the end. We were out of here. We were going to do the podcast, and then that. I mean, we even had you at one point. I actually muttered the phrase, "That's why you play Rivas."
You did that. Where were you for the Rivas game?
Listen, I high-fived you after your guy stole who you got right out of my hands.
Yeah.
Because I thought, we're out of here. Then Rivas makes the catch of all catches by first baseman. Saves the game again. Yeah. And then
those 2 plays, by the way, the Suzuki homer and the Rivas diving catch, like, that's the most hype that we've been watching this like for probably a month. I feel like
yeah,
we
for
have
a long time.
There was
just because we wanted to go get out of here.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we were pretty hyped for Wesneski.
We were.
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't here for Wisniewski. It was the
true.
strongest I've seen.
But then Seiya and Ortega are chasing the ball around the outfield, and you're just like,
oh my God,
is this happening in my lifetime again?
Yeah.
Am I really watching what's going on?
It genuinely is, like, mind-blowing how it fell apart. The only thing I can say is, like, there was, like, no one at the Wrigley today. And, like,
they were booing, according to Ryan's tweet.
Yeah, according to
Hopefully
Ryan's
Ryan will
tweet.
have time to join us here.
I'm not blaming the bullpen. I'm not blaming it because it's like it is what it is. We're trying to find out some of these young guys. But, man, Mark Leiter Jr., and I've been somewhat, I wouldn't even say I've sat on here and defended him. It's just more of like, he's just a guy in here to try to eat innings and, like, you know, not force the Cubs to have to use other guys when they shouldn't or when they can't or when they don't need to because of the record and all that shit. But, like, I don't know. Rowan Wick, too, I don't even know what to say, Stucky. It is.
Jack says, why does
whatever.
Ortega keep pinch hitting? I do not have an answer for that.
I have no answer for anything at this point. Like,
I'm wondering how Mark Leiter feels. I remember when I used to play like travel baseball in 3rd grade, and I was such a bad hitter because I was so small. Like, I would be on deck. There'd be 2 outs in the last inning. We would need to, like another base runner to extend the game, and I would be praying in the on-deck circle for the teammate, the guy in front of me, to strike out, so I wouldn't have to come up with the game on the line. And like, I'm just thinking he's warming up in the bullpen, just like, oh God, not again. Like, just give up some runs. Like, don't make me go in with a lead. Like, his confidence is done.
He's had nice stretches, but again, I don't mind if he comes in the 5th or 6th inning to eat some innings when you're down a few runs, or even if you're up a few runs. I just don't want him in the game in the 9th inning in a 1-run ball game. I think we can all sit here and agree with that at least. So
yeah,
whatever. It doesn't matter. The
just
March of
why
63
he walked
is
the
trending
leadoff
down.
guy. Gee,
Yeah.
I'd rather have him hit a home run than walk the leadoff guy in the 9th inning. Same result almost every time, either way. Now, the positive was the comeback. Seiya homers, his 12th of the year, 44 RBI, I think. I think they showed that's second most now for rookies as far as runs batted in concerned. I like the way he's bouncing back here and hopefully finishing the season.
Yeah,
It is trending. Forget the fact that he was chasing that ball around in the 9th inning around the outfield. At the plate, I like the way that he is trending. He had the great start to the season, then he had some stuff in the middle, and now trending up again. So that's good to see.
Yeah, so I have him up on Fangraphs right now, and since I know beginning of August was a little bit of a struggle, but I'd say over the last couple weeks, right, it's been pretty good. So let's go since August 21st on Fangraphs to going into today, because the stats aren't all the way up there yet. So since August 21st going into today, 356, 433, 525 slugging, 168 WRC plus. So yeah, he's been on a hot streak. He's been, honestly, those numbers are similar to what he was doing in April, right? So, yeah, like you said, love to see him doing this towards the end of the year. He's got some easy teams to face to, help improve some of those numbers. Whether you want to take that, you want to look at that positively or negatively, I'll leave that up to you. But, yeah, it's better than seeing him struggle all the way to the end of the year,
Right.
kind of like how Christopher Morel has been doing. So, he's got to find a way to become a consistent major leaguer, and it's a good sign. So,
and then I started wondering during the game, like, obviously this right here, the CHGO Cubs Postgame Show podcast, is the most popular show on YouTube right now.
you think so?
Where does Cubs baseball rank in that? Do you like the YouTube broadcast?
I like the YouTube. I like it only.
I'll be honest, I couldn't find it, but somebody help me.
The only thing I like about the YouTube broadcast is that you can switch to the radio broadcast, and you can listen to Pat Hughes on your TV.
Right.
That's the only thing I like about the YouTube broadcast. Other than that, it's just another dang game.
They definitely botched the replay at the end with the ball.
Yeah.
With the ball in
Yeah,
the
they
gap.
just showed,
We were trying to
show
find-
him running the bases.
We still haven't seen a replay. Of
Yeah,
that
we
play.
still haven't seen a
I'm
replay
not sure
of
what
Ortega
happened.
and Suzuki in the outfield. Like,
Yeah, I
Someone
would say
tweeted at
technically
me-
not as great. Like, they had some shots where, like, the cameras, I don't know if the iris was wide open, but looked like they were standing on the sun. You know?
Was it? Oh, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, Michael's here.
Yeah, I was
So
reading the
that's good.
comments and
Hello, Michael.
Oh yeah, you were talking about the replay.
Yeah.
Well, I was also reading through my mentions a little bit. I don't do it often, but when I do, I tweeted about how, at least we get Pat Hughes today, and there were some people who tweeted at me and they were like, "This broadcast stinks." So I think the overwhelming majority thought that the YouTube broadcast sucks. And then apparently someone said that they think the Reds, or someone tweeted at me that one of the broadcasters said that they think that the Reds are going to make the playoffs before the Cubs again. And if that is actually, like, if that actually happens, y'all haven't even seen like a dead inside Cody like that. Like if if the Cincinnati Reds make the playoffs before the Chicago Cubs within the next 5 years. Oh boy.
I just saw in the chat.
We're
Nick said, Jack said, as long as they don't get swept by the Giants.
Yeah.
And Nick G says, Cubs say, hold our old style.
Yeah.
Because you can't rule anything out.
Yeah. The Giants have kind of fallen apart here in the second half. Maybe they'll play better against them than you expect.
If the Reds make the playoffs before the Cubs,
we should all be putting like the brown
or if
paper
the Cardinals
bags.
win the World Series.
Oh God.
I'm trying to think of what our acronym would be if our company moved to Cincinnati. CNCTI.
They'd probably be Cincy.
I don't know. It'd be tough. We might have to expand.
CNCY.
Beyond,
Probably CNCY.
beyond 4 letters, maybe. CNCY. That's a good one.
Could be Natty. N-A-T-I.
CNCI. Like that.
Could be Natty.
CNCY.
Wolf Designs confirms that is what the broadcast said, that they thought that the Reds are, that whoever the guy was said that he thinks that the Reds will make the playoffs before the Cubs. So.
All right. Well, I mean,
someone should clip
they
that,
do have
bring
some-
it back. I'll save it, add it to my bookmarks. I have a long list of bookmarks on Twitter because I'm a never forget, never forgive person. Like, I'll add it. I'll add it to the list.
keeping a receipt on that one.
Absolutely.
Here's a good question. If the Cubs start out bad next year, is David Ross's job in jeopardy?
Depends how bad.
It depends on what they do in the offseason.
It depends on
too.
the expectations.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
depends on expectations. It depends on how bad it is.
If it's this team without Wilson Contreras and they don't add a legit starting pitcher and somebody like Correa, some big money player, then no.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be the same result.
Right.
And they'll know it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Right.
I mean, we hope that's not going to be what happens. But as far as bullpen guys, what did you think on the positive side, Captain Positive over here, Manny Rodriguez with a strikeout to get out of the 7th.
Ooh.
Where's your confidence in him versus Leiter or Wick or?
I feel a lot better with him than I do any of those two guys you just said.
Well,
to me.
I feel like there's more to explore there than those two guys.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. Like, I don't know if he's better than they are, but there's more to explore.
I'll say this. It's almost like the chat is begging, just absolutely begging me to just say something critical of David Ross and how he manages a bullpen. And I've said time and time again on this podcast that I like the way David Ross manages the bullpen. And if you look at how he manages the bullpen, when they actually have a roster that's trying to win, that is correct. But today, I didn't like how he did things because you're in a close game and you're using Brandon Hughes and Manny Rodriguez in 6th, 7th inning. 6th, 7th inning, and I get it. Like, it was a big moment. You want to use your best arms, but like when you do that, that's leaving situations like what happened in the 9th inning today happening. And I know that again, you trade your 4 best relievers away, but because of that, I feel like you have to switch it up a bit and you have to go with like just someone else. Brandon Hughes and Manny Rodriguez are probably, Brandon Hughes for sure, but Manny Rodriguez since he's came off the injured list, he's been pretty good. I think that
they're probably confidence-wise, they could be 1-2.
I think that you can look at him and think, okay, this guy is a guy. He could be somewhere in the back end of the bullpen. I'm not saying he's going to be a closer or even a setup guy, but just like a late inning dude. He's got the stuff, and he looks like he's got a presence on the mound that scares the living shit out of a hitter. So, like, to me, like, from what we've seen so far, and together with a little bit of what we saw last year, he looks like a guy that could be something in the back end of the bullpen. Now, that's why I'm saying that it bothers me today, because when you use those two guys in those innings, then you're opening yourself up to lose in the 9th inning like they did, because you use Mark Leiter Jr. So like sometimes I get it. but today I don't get it. And whatever. But there is your criticism of David Ross, chat. I know you guys all want to hear it.
Lucas in the chat has my favorite comment of the week so far, I think. Managing this bullpen is like mixing up two puzzles and then trying to make one picture. That's what David Ross is trying to do. Like, he's got to figure out who he's trying to get evaluations on, who the front office wants to see, who's rested, who's actually a relief pitcher at a major league level, who's got anything left, who's injured, who's healthy. Hey, let's throw them out there.
Right.
I mean, it's not.
I'm bringing up the active roster right now.
All right, what do you got?
I'm going to tell you the bullpen arms that we have that I like. All right? At this point, this is who I like. Jeremiah Estrada, Brandon Hughes, Manny Rodriguez.
Those are three guys I don't mind watching the rest of the season.
And if you want to add in Javier Assad, because he's not going to be a starter long term, fine.
Yeah, okay.
All right, like he's been impressive, right?
Four guys that I'm okay watching. When
everyone's done with Newcomb. I would say that I'm leaning towards being done with Newcomb too. And Eric Ullman, he's young, but yeah, he struggled of late, so you need him to turn it around. I'm not saying I'm out on him, but I'm telling you guys that I like. I want to like Ullman, but he hasn't been great of late.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, struggled now.
The one thing that really blows my mind though is like how it's either hot or cold with Rowan Wick. There is no in between. This guy was good for multiple seasons for this team, and this year it's not been great. And I don't really get it.
You protecting him?
Are you asking me if I'm protecting him?
I would guess they're not protecting him. That's just a guess. I have no idea. If they have some tough decisions to make, how much do they really think he's a part of? I don't know. I don't know where that confidence is anymore.
He's born in 1992, so that means he's, 30? Because I was born in 91. And that's because I have the active roster up, and it's not telling me his age. Just give me his birthday.
Yeah.
I'm trying to math. Maybe. To begin with, Rowan Wick was never he kind of came out of nowhere, right? Like they traded for him with the Padres, and he came over and he was way better than we all expected, and he was that good in 19 and 20, I thought, and then got hurt, missed most of all last year, and came back late, and they kind of used him as like a closer, setup guy type role, and he had his ups and downs for however long it was he pitched last year, which was literally like not even 2 months, I don't think. And then this year, it's just been a roller coaster of just like peaks and valleys, and like there's no stop on the way down. It's just woo, like all the way down, and it's frustrating.
But he didn't walk the guy in the ninth inning.
He did not.
After you still were able to get the lead back.
Yeah,
he's not the one that. Not that
but
he
also gave up the run in the eighth inning. Though,
yeah,
so
he did.
That's the reason that I bring that up.
He was the first guy I was mad at, but he wasn't the last.
Right. And that's another thing. If you want me to criticize David Ross, it's like clearly Rowan Wick has been good in save situations, and anything but he's not. He's like the new Craig Kimbrell, minus being a Hall of Fame bullpen closer, whatever. But like, I mean, it's
like saying I'm Bob Costas.
Like it's basically how I'm comparing it. Like he really has, he really is only. You feel like you only see the good from him when he is closing games.
Yeah. Cody, this will make you feel better. Green Ridge Farm is a Chicago
beef sticks
local meat and cheese company offering you a better all-natural option. Makers of all-natural deli meat, sausages, and their famous meat sticks. Cody has tried those out.
Whoa.
Perfect
so
for tailgating, happy hour, school lunches. All the bear season starts this weekend. Take some of those meat sticks out there. These all-natural meat sticks are hardwood smoked for 8 hours with 16 grams of protein per stick, making the perfect post-workout snack. Meat sticks come in chicken, Black Forest beef, and flavors like jalapeno cheddar, spicy chili, and sun-dried tomato. Haven't tried them yet? you don't know what you're missing.
Ooh.
Speaking of the Bears and games and this weekend and the season opener, Game Time is now the hottest ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. Have you used them yet?
I downloaded the app.
Yeah, I know Herb is
my mom wants to go to Wrigley in 2 weekends.
So there you go. Just jump to Game Time. Use the app.
Yeah, jumped on Game Time, and we're trying to go to the Saturday game, not this weekend, but the weekend after.
And here's why. If you've ever dreamed of sitting in a seat you never thought you could, 50-yard line, courtside, right behind home plate, floor seats at that concert, it's possible with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on seats you thought you could never buy. I saw a lot of people saying like 60% off, 66% off, just amazing deals. You're not going to find a better deal this season on Cubs tickets or Bears tickets. Created by the fans, for the fans, guaranteeing the lowest price. So if you find something, they're going to get there. Now, if you love CHGO, then you're going to love Game Time. The best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description for the podcast and also on the YouTube description. Join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and score the best seats to all your favorite events.
In the YouTube description, guys.
YouTube description. And we got a points bet. Also, speaking of the Bears and the NFL season starting, we have a sweet little deal working there with PointsBet as well.
Yeah, so as you can see on the screen, if you go on the PointsBet, my favorite app, you download and register, use code CHGO, bet $51 before the Bears and the 49ers.
Or during it, live too, right?
Or live. My bad. Thank you, Stuckey.
You're welcome, because I placed my pregame bets.
You can get this collection that you see on the screen on top of the yearly subscription to CHGO web content, like from Ryan and all the other Bears content as well. We got so much Bears content coming out. It's just like overflowing into my bloodstream, honestly.
QB1 shirt.
QB1 shirt, obviously, as well. Like, it's all really great stuff. Just all you got to do is deposit $51 into your PointsBet account. Use code CHGO when you sign up. Place a bet on that game. And there you go.
Now, and you get your choice. You get the shirt, the QB1 shirt, and then you get your choice of those exclusive sweatshirts, which you can't find anywhere else.
Absolutely.
You can't even get them in the CHGO locker right now. Like, as employees,
I don't even have one.
We can't get those sweatshirts. Otherwise, you'd see Cody in the hoodie with the tassels that's kind of like the varsity jacket look.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd probably
Is that the
have
one you would go with?
Yeah, that's the one I would go with. Yeah.
Now, Kevin Kaduk said that he was in on the design for the other one, the crew neck.
Oh.
And that
like
Eric was
both,
the guy that designed. They're pretty cool. I think if I had, I'd have to see them in person, but I think I'd like.
I think you go with the crew neck.
Yeah, but I think I like the varsity one because I don't have anything like it.
Oh, okay, all right.
See, it's a little bit different.
It is a little bit different.
It makes me look hip.
I did get the QB1 shirt by itself though. I'm still waiting for it to arrive.
See, and I have this CHGO T-shirt, so I have
well.
this logo. So I like the crew neck, but I think I'd go with the hoodie.
That's fair.
Listen, when the weather gets cold, it's tough to find anything better than a good hoodie.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, a little extra weight around your neck there, a little extra block the wind when you're walking on those cold days. It kind of keeps the neck from getting that draft, or you throw it up over your head when it's misting or snowing or sleeting.
Yeah. Y'all know that I ride the electric scooter to the office 6.5 miles.
Yeah.
Like, now when we get into like December and January, probably not going to be riding the scooter to this office. However, fall weather, riding the scooter into the West Loop from the north side of Chicago with one of those hoodies on.
That's the way to go.
That's the vibe,
Sounds like
baby.
a vibe. I was about to say, sounds like a vibe. Surprised Stucky didn't say it first.
It's a vibe. It's dope merch and it's sick drip, and they're all available.
Absolutely.
All you got to do, you got to be a new user on PointsBet. You got to sign up, bet $51 in-game or pre-game on the Bears and Niners. Uh-oh.
They're taking the
Something
Weber
going
grill
on.
out of the box
Oh,
finally.
wow. They're putting together the Weber grill.
We got new bag set.
Will this be done in time to grill up some Green Ridge Farm? It'd take you that long?
Stucky, you saw the new bag set we got in the office too, right?
No.
Bag.
Oh, yeah, I
The
did
bag
see.
set.
Yeah, the bag set.
Yeah, it's bags.
It's
Not-
bags.
I
They're
don't call it cornhole.
custom made
Custom made.
bags.
Shout out to Chi
It's
Town.
like by
Cornhole.
far, that's by far the coolest bags board I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's
the
close.
bags themselves have our CHGO logo on them, right? They've got scorekeeping in the back of it. They have an LED light around the inside of the hole so you can play it in the dark better. Now that is brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Chi-Town Cornhole. Go follow them on Twitter. They make really great custom design bag sets.
Did we put it on Instagram? I saw that Nick G said he saw it, and damn, it's sharp. You got a shot of it for the YouTube crew?
I tweeted it myself on my account too.
I saw we also released a new Sox shirt, by the way.
Yeah, we did release a new shirt.
Do you have a friend, relative that's a Sox fan?
Yes. There it is, Joey.
Look at that, with the lights on.
Oh, yeah.
The sparkle.
This thing's bang. It's the stuff. That's the
The
stuff.
LED light is really sharp.
Yeah.
Really sharp.
Yeah. All right.
So anyways, yeah, we got some good deals going on right now. Excited for the start of the season. And with the NFL season kicking off tonight, Thursday night, as we're taping this podcast, I ask you, which NFL team, Joey and Cody, are the Chicago Cubs? And the chat crew. Which team? I have my answer, and I think it is.
I think it's the Bears. I
You
think the
they're
Cubs are
just
the Bears.
like the Bears.
I think it's. I don't know. That's a very I didn't take a lot of time to think about it, but I'm like, I think the Cubs. They're both bad teams. They've thrown the season away, but I think that their outlook for next season and beyond is a lot better than it was for this season. Like, I think the Bears are going to have $100 million of cap room next year. The Cubs are going to go spend this offseason. Like, I think that the outlook beyond this season, even for as bad as this Cubs season's been, and this Bears season could be bad, I think a lot of us don't think it's going to be as bad as other people think in the national media. But yeah, I'll go Bears.
I'll tell you what it is, and see what the chat thinks. I think I have the correct answer. The correct answer is the Chicago Cubs are the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NFL. Why? They think they have their star player, Nico Horner, Trevor Lawrence, right?
Perhaps.
They have a lot of young players on the team with some upside that still might not be ready to take over, but they do have a lot of young players, right?
Yeah.
They're in a bad division.
They are, yeah.
And the future is bright, but it is not quite there, and it is not guaranteed because you don't know if that guy, number 16, is the real deal in the NFL, just like you don't know if the top prospects for the Cubs are the real deal just yet. It's exciting to be a Jags fan, finally, for them. Like, they have a reason to watch some games, and the Cubs are just starting to push into that phase. So if I had to compare them to an NFL team, I say the Cubs are somewhat similar. Maybe not a perfect comparison, but somewhat similar to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. So are we not including like front office and like?
Sure, you can do that. However you want to complete that.
I wouldn't say Jaguars because like their organization as a whole, I feel like is.
Yeah. No, they haven't won, they didn't win in 2016. So in that way.
They have one winning season, the most recent history I can think of.
So who's a recent NFL champion that's sort of rebuilding with young guys?
Well, I can't say they're like the Patriots, that's for sure. Patriots are a freaking dynasty, and the Cubs didn't end up being
they're not the Patriots, right?
Right. Well, we're talking about a recent team that won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, it's not the
Rams,
Chiefs.
like they're not the Rams.
No, the Rams just loaded up with.
Yeah. I don't know.
No.
Like,
Joel says it's between the Jets and the Jags. I like the Jags comp. I don't know if there is a perfect comp.
Like
Jets works too, I think, just because of the big market. Like, the Jags are just like such a poverty, that it feels wrong to call the Cubs them. But yeah.
Is it the Giants? They have young players. They have Saquon Barkley, and they just can't get it right? No, because the Giants haven't won recently. Like, if you're going by that way, I'm just saying talent-wise, and they have some similarities to the Jags in that young promise, not proven, not guaranteed.
Yeah. I would say that before 2016, we would always just say the Cubs are either the Browns or the Lions.
Or the Jets, yes.
Yeah, or the Jets.
Any of those, but yes. Yeah, right. agreed with that.
I don't know, though. I mean, I think any of those teams in the AFC South kind of like you could argue are similar to like what the Cubs are. Like, because no team in that division, except for maybe the Colts, are a team that like.
Colts, we have Stroman. They have Matt Ryan.
Like,
right?
fine.
Isn't he their quarterback now? Matt Ryan and the Colts?
Yes, yeah. Like, I think the Titans are going to take a step back, but they've been competitive over the last like 5 seasons. You know, Jags, like you said, and then the Texans are going to finish with the top 5 pick in the draft this year.
I kind of like the Steelers. Like, you know, they were competitive. They were in all those AFC Championship games. They couldn't get over the hump.
That is not bad.
And now they are
riding with Trubisky
basically
for now.
in just 2 years they are completely bottomed out.
Yeah.
You know, completely bottomed out.
But they think their future quarterback, and they're riding with Trubisky, a.k.a. Mark Leiter Jr. right now.
Michael says in the
Trubisky
chat.
is their Mark Leiter Jr. right now.
Michael in the chat
No
says
offense.
the Giants just put in new bathrooms, so they're the Cubs of the NFL.
So the Steelers isn't bad. The Steelers are rebuilding. They think they have their new key piece of the team. But again, it's somebody they drafted and they feel good about, but you just don't know.
Yeah.
The Cubs and the Bears. So Bears, Steelers, Jags, I think those are all kind of.
Yeah.
Well,
Trade away the
Seahawks
love player.
after they make the number 1, 2, or 3 pick this season, right? Like right now they're not.
I like his comparison though because they did trade away like a franchise player.
They did. They just unloaded.
We did
They'd
that
be a little
too.
bit behind where the Cubs are right now, right? They still
Yeah.
need to have the draft of
Yeah. Yeah, the Seahawks are not
once they trade away Lockett and anybody else that's left on the team.
Matthew says Titans are the Brewers. Laughing emoji. Sure. I can see that. I mean, they have a good roster, but they never do enough to be over the top and actually win because they're poverty and don't spend money.
Now, Steven says Tomlin is a great coach for the Steelers. Ross isn't. I just don't think we know that yet. Like
We don't.
I don't know how you judge a guy
don't.
for this roster. I understand what you're saying. Like, if you look at his record, Steven is 100% correct. I just think that could change so quickly if you put Aaron Judge and DeGrom on this team next year, and these guys come back, and you have Brennan Davis called up, and PCA joins the team late in the season, you might think differently about Ross. I don't know. But when they have almost zero talent after they trade guys away, it's like it's difficult to judge him. I understand everybody wants to blame Ross. I'm just not ready to.
And as far
say
as
he stinks.
offense, I mean, Wilson Contreras is on the IL. You know, like that. You got that, and then Patrick Wisdom also on the IL. I think we haven't talked about Patrick Wisdom. I feel like for a couple weeks.
No, it's been a while.
And like people wanted to be like people have been. It's almost like he like I don't know what kind of word I'm trying to think of here, but like people have been so done with him. Well, the Cubs have clearly missed his power and they've missed his defensive versatility. Because if he was in the lineup, we wouldn't be seeing Alfonso Rivas at first base every single day.
That's true.
And we wouldn't
be. But without that catch.
Thank you, Luke.
Without that catch, they would have lost earlier.
So it just
Sorry.
No, I get what you're saying. I get it. I'm just saying that we're just saying that you cannot judge David Ross on this roster. And if the Cubs blow our minds in the offseason and are like, all right, David, we're going a different direction, then fine. Like, I don't care. I genuinely don't think a winning ball club depends on the manager. I genuinely don't think it. I really don't. I never have and I never will. I'm sorry.
No, I don't either. Kurt is saying, where are you going to put all the outfielders if we get Judge? That's a problem I'd like to worry about. First of all, you could play DH. Second of all, if you're paying all that money to Judge, you might end up trading, say, a Suzuki or somebody else that's in that outfield so that you can go get pitching that way. Mm-hmm. But whatever. If Aaron Judge is on the team, I'm willing to figure out how the outfield fits.
You put good players together that mesh
Yeah, don't worry
well,
about it.
Then things will happen right. All you need is a guy who is able to make the right bullpen decisions and can get guys to want to play for him.
You're not going to pass on.
That is all David Ross is asked to do.
You're not going to pass on signing Aaron Judge because you have Ian Happ in left field right now.
No
matter how much you love Ian Happ. Okay, Ken Rosenthal, by the way, says a big vote coming up tomorrow. It looks like all these things will probably go through. The pitch clock for next season, banning the shift.
Oh, thank God.
We know how much you're looking forward to that.
I will celebrate.
And this is one I'm excited to see the vote on. Larger bases would be another one.
Can't wait to hear about that.
Can't wait to see the giant inflatable bouncy machines they put over at first, second, and third.
Yeah.
Little kids will be out there bouncing around like they're at Chuck E. Cheese on those giant bases we're going to have.
Whatever.
I think it's one of the silliest things we've talked
really
about in
is.
baseball.
I remember that was like one of the
want to
first.
fix. They're like, you know what? I think the bases could be a little bit bigger.
I feel like we talked about that like
in the spring we did.
Yeah, like not even a month into doing this job.
When we didn't think there were going to be any games.
Right.
We're like, oh, I don't know. They're going to play this season. It could be mid-season.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do a podcast about the size of the bases. Well, we're back to that point.
Yeah, here we are.
It's all full circle.
Yeah.
So do you feel strongly about all three of those?
Well, I'm feeling good about the pitch clock because I know how much you would love these games to go by faster, and they've shown in the minor leagues that it's worked, and as far as I can tell, everyone likes it.
Yeah, I saw Jed asked on the broadcast the other day, he's like, no, I don't see any downside to it.
Yeah. Shift restrictions, thank God. What will be nice about banning the shift is that a little bit old school will be able to come back to the game, and we can celebrate players who just, take the ball the other way or, are able to just hit the ball just hard enough up the middle. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure in some capacity teams will be able to somewhat quote unquote shift, but you're not going to be able to just take your entire infield and put it over on one side of the field. You know
I hate that. I hate that.
That is the dumbest thing.
So you're okay with a tiny shift, but not.
Yeah, I'm okay with defensive alignment. I'm not okay with taking your third baseman and putting him in like
second base.
At second base and like
too.
10 feet into the grass of right field. You know what I mean? Like, listen, it's helped the Cubs many times over the years, and it's also hurt the Cubs many times.
At the end of the last group, it was brutal.
It all levels out. I just like the main reason I hate it is because it really has taken a lot of action out of the game. It's really helped the pitchers. Banning the shift is designed to bring more offense. And what is going to get fans excited about baseball? Points, baby. So
Matthew says
the pitchers will figure it out, man.
Nick Madrigal will hit 500 next year. Matthew says without the shift.
Without the shift, you can just spray those balls to left field.
That's right.
Yeah.
All those pull hitters are going to be real happy about it. Points bet. You want to tell us about our football season, what we got going on? We got a hot deal there.
Oh, man. Like we said earlier, man, the football season's tonight.
That's it.
We're just hours away. Me and Sean Anderson from CHGO White Sox, he's also CHGO Bets Daily. We're both riding the Rams. Money line tonight. Rams plus 2.5. I also like Allen Robinson over 65.5 yards receiving. All right. You're welcome. It's football season. PointsBet is bringing you a better way to live on, or a better way to bet live on games, which means before this ad is over, you can place a live same-game parlay bet on the next drive to be a touchdown and cash out your live second-half over bet. With PointsBet, you can access to more live football markets than ever before. Build the perfect live same-game parlay by combining your favorite bets anytime during the game, including spreads, totals, player props, and more. Choose the outcome of the next drive and the next points with PointsBet Lightning Bets. So whether you are on the move or on the couch, do it live on PointsBet. Download the PointsBet app today. Use code CHGO to get your first two bets risk-free up to $2,000. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services. That was the first time I read that one. I felt like I did okay.
Yep, it was very nice. I'm at 66%. And so
Sucky put in some futures today. I helped him.
And so I said, listen, Cody, the season starts. I have $53 in that sitting in my cachet there. I thought, what am I going to do? And I went on a gambling rampage that would make Mr. Del Mendo very, very excited. I mean, I hit it hard. I went after 4 bets.
He logged in and he had a $5 free bet. I was like, what are you doing?
I didn't even know.
You didn't even know.
I did a three-leg same-game parlay. Then I did another 3-leg same-game parlay on tonight's game. Then I did Bears regular season wins. I took the over 5.5.
Over 5.5.
Uh-huh.
I like that.
Minus 135. I don't know if I believe it, but I thought, well, that's worth trying to win a little cash there. And then I took, again, I don't believe this either. But if the Bears win, I want to win some cash. So I had a free $20 bet because I did that special parlay you told me about in tonight's game, which gave me the free $20 bet. It's free money. I said, you know what? I'm putting it all on the Bears to pull off the upset at Soldier Field. No points. You don't give me any points. I'm taking a straight up win. Bears, hit me with the cash.
Absolutely.
I bet 20 to win 50.
I love it. So if what Luke just described, he did the points bet power hour thing today. And they've been doing power hour every day. I think today was the last day. It goes up until September 8th. Today is September 8th. But you have up until kickoff of tonight's Rams-Bills game to make a $20 same-game parlay bet on that game. And if you do that, you get a $20 free bet, and you can do what Stuckey did and place it on the Bears. You can literally use that $20 free bet on anything you want. So if you're not on points bet, right now is the best time. You can do the Bears promo that we talked about earlier, and you deposit $51, place that bet on that bet on that game, and then deposit another $20, place that $20 bet on tonight's game, and then get another $20 free bet. And you might just by the time the weekend is over, you might be in the chat telling me, Cody, I should be taking your spot in CHGO Bets Daily because I got more money than you.
Yeah, so. I mean, I could win $132 on that game just on one bet tonight. I have a set of Jordan lows that I'm going to get custom made with real diamonds. In the laces, yeah.
Did you see Willie Harris's Jordan 1 lows on broadcast today?
No, were they nice?
Oh, that was. I need them. That's all I can say is I need them.
Anyways, you're going to take a lot of heat if I lose any of the bets. That's just the
absolutely.
way it goes.
That's how this industry works.
But you have to admit, I was pretty smooth using that app today.
Yeah, Luke.
It didn't take
just in
you
case.
hours.
1-800-GAMBLER for crisis counseling and referral services.
Thank you, Joey. I appreciate that.
Just in case
I get the itch.
I know you've been a little off the rails all day today now. So,
well, I sat at 66% for a long time.
You did.
The NFL
and he
season
gave me
is starting.
so much crap because I gave him one that didn't win.
Really? Yeah, really. My only loss was, quote, a lock.
It was
from
Suns
Mr. Betts over here.
-4, some random NBA game from like in April.
It missed by one free throw.
It did. Matt Peck from CHGO Bulls still mad about it.
They both swore it was a stone cold lock.
He was like, I rode as well just because Peck told me. So it wasn't even really me. It was more of Peck. So shout out to you, Matt.
Did you guys see the Nico Horner Jordan slide into third today? My who you got pick? I was riding high on who you got, by the way.
You were.
I was riding high. Nico slides into third, and he sticks out his tongue for the cameras like MJ. It was like you saw a lot of pictures of it. I saw that our buddy Corey then posted Jordan with the tongue out, and then Jordan kind of closing his eyes for the free throw.
Yeah. That's a great meme. Corey,
how did he come up with that? Now, I like that photo.
How's he come up with this?
Dangerous,
so fast?
by the way. Dangerous. In
a way.
He hits the bag a little bit funny, bites his tongue off.
Oof.
I always worried about Jordan biting his tongue off.
That's yeah.
Because then you're not going to eat and you're not going to play.
Ugh, yeah.
That's why I'm the director of Buzzkill. Looked like just a fun photo. First thing that went through my head is if the guy gets bumped the wrong way, he could bite his tongue off.
Right.
Should we do who you got? I'm not sure Ryan's going to make it. Maybe he will, hopefully, today, but we only got about 5 minutes left here. So I took Nico. And again, if you missed the announcement last night, I've spoken to the commissioner, and because the integrity of the Who You Got game has been tampered with, and there's been talk of corruption, collusion, illegal activity, I have decided to step down from the Who You Got game and take over as commissioner of Who You Got next season. I will not be making picks. I will strictly be in charge of deciding who wins and making sure the integrity of the CHGO Who You Got game is upheld to the highest standard, which is all that I think is really important. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate
After all,
that.
even the second time, now that I've had to hear that twice now, I still laugh.
So and after making that sacrifice for the chat, for the fans, for the game, making that sacrifice myself, taking that pleasure away from myself, I get rewarded with a game that goes into the ninth inning where they blow the game and we were here an extra 45 minutes and Who You Got was snatched out of my hands for absolutely no reason because they just went on to lose. Yeah. Like I high-fived you when your guy did it.
When Seiya hit the homer?
said sometimes you got to sacrifice who you got.
Yep.
And instead what I got was a Who You Got loss and a Cubs loss and a slow game.
Well, some people think you... Like
Marcus thinks I won.
Marcus thinks you won.
Wait a minute. I didn't look at
my
the
guy
stats.
hit a homer. Seiya hit a homer.
Oh, now, but wait a minute. My guy hit a home run the other day, and you guys told me I had a home run and 3 RBIs, and his guy had two non-homers.
His guy got the game-winning hit, though.
Your home run was not the game-winning hit.
Yeah, it was. It gave them the lead.
They lost.
It would have been.
So it was not the game-winning hit.
It would have been the game-winning hit, though.
That would have given you the win. Wait a minute. Let me look this up.
Your guy had a triple and a double, and a run score.
And a run scored.
My guy had a homer.
Your guy had 2 hits, 2 runs scored.
I forgot that he had 2 hits.
My guy had
2 hits, 2 runs scored. Your guy had 2 hits.
So we're equal, but you had a home run. I had, let's see. Well,
here we go again, folks.
I had a triple and a double. That's 5 total bases. You had a home run, 4 plus a single, right?
That was a double. So 6 total bases.
6 total bases. Well, you probably win. I maybe you take a quarter of a point away because Seiya was chasing the ball around the outfield like he was Rocky chasing a chicken.
Take away a quarter. So I have
Rocky. Was that Rocky 2 where he's chasing the chicken or Rocky 1?
So I
or was it Creed 1?
Oh, it was Creed.
Creed was also in Creed.
Yeah. I think
that's right. I'm a defender of the wall. Nice watch.
See, I think you are the Ned Stark of CHGO.
No, not the Ned Stark had his head cut off.
Yeah, but he's the most honorable man in the
Jon
whole
Snow.
Okay, sure. You come from the Stark family tree, that's for sure. And you know, I don't know where my Photoshop just went because I was just
there. It is.
You know, good for you, Luke.
But is that a photo of Ned Stark and you put me on there?
Yeah, it's Ned Stark. That's a compliment.
Hand to the king. Hand to the king.
Because he's doing what's important. He's looking out for the Who You Got game and the honor of it.
And people have been asking who's the commissioner that I spoke to. Listen, that's like Oz. You can't give away the identity of the commissioner.
Yeah.
It's the great Oz.
Joel says, how about we give the win to the power of friendship?
Oh, isn't that sweet, Joel? No.
All I know is that Ryan lost.
Ryan did not win today.
Ryan did not win today. Corey
and that's probably why he has not joined.
Yeah, that probably is.
Joined at this point.
Did what did you say? Okay.
He wants to join right now?
He said, what are we talking about on the show? He said the players were taking a long time to come back.
All right, tell Ryan to join, but we're out of here in 5 minutes.
I said. I
was just going to say goodnight. And I know the chat was thinking, well, will we get a little more of this show?
6 total bases. I hit a home run, 2 and a double. I'm feeling pretty good about who you got for me.
Matthew's going to take the win.
How did Higgins play today?
Who?
How did Higgins play today? I saw he was on one of the pictures on Imagine.
We were debating whether you won the other night because Higgins had a decent game. We all decided, well, no, you weren't here. So technically, even though you have a
standing
pick of Higgins, you have to be here.
I've got to make it
say
known.
I want that again.
Higgins went 1 for 1 with an RBI.
Yeah, God, I can't believe I missed him the other night. It could have been my second win.
That could have been it.
Could have been it.
All right, Ryan Herrera is here. Ryan, what was said about the way they gave that away? Let's start with which was the most disappointing. the walk to start the ninth inning or the chasing the ball around in the ninth inning?
Or the fact that your who you got was nowhere close to being a winner today.
All three disappointing.
Definitely that last one. My who you got even got pinch hit for in like the 8th inning or 7th inning, whatever it was. And I was very disappointed about that. It was a meltdown. And I think the bullpen has been, especially since the trade deadline, has had good, like really good stretches. Also has had clunkers where they blow leads. Like you kind of expected that to happen when you give away your 4 best relievers. I think it all kind of comes down to like that 8th inning. Really was it? Yeah, right. Wick comes in. I think Manny walks someone, and then Wick comes in, and he walks. He ends up walking in the game tying run right there. And Ross, even after the game, kind of says, he's like, you just can't come in and walk people. Like you gotta be on your game. You gotta come in and throw strikes. That's it. It was definitely a disappointing day for the bullpen as a whole, especially considering how well Sampson pitched. 6 innings, 1 run. I mean, it was the home run, and Ross said he kind of they got like a blister on his finger, maybe around like the 4th or 5th inning. Like on the inside of his on the inside of his ring finger on his pitching hand that he was kind of dealing with, and they let him go out for the 5th and the 6th. If I'm correct, yeah, the 5th and the 6th, and then obviously that home run on the 7th, Ross comes and takes him out. But outside, he pitched so well today. And it's first again. We talked about it yesterday with Lasad. The same thing with Sampson, like a guy that's kind of pitching for his 40-man spot. Comes out and does well. I don't know.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know how much has changed is what what the Cubs see him as when it comes down to making those 40-man decisions. But it's definitely not. That definitely doesn't hurt his chances at being one of those 40 that get protected, or are one of those 40 that are one of those guys that are on the 40-man through the offseason and going into spring training next year.
Any pregame or postgame notes you think we need to know about? Like anything that was said pre or postgame that you're like, all right, that's pretty important.
Wilson, he had the MRI. I want to say he had it yesterday, and they got the results kind of after we were able to talk about him. But the MRI results is like he went out with a left ankle sprain. The results show no surprises on that. So obviously it's disappointing injury, but at least they already knew what it was, and imaging didn't change that. So not sure on the timetable for him if there really isn't one yet. Just kind of, Ross talked about him being kind of 1 step forward, 2 steps back every time. Like he rests it and it feels good the next day, but then he tries to do something and then it hurts the next day. So it's one of those things where they're just kind of seeing what happens, seeing if he could play again this year. I don't know that they don't expect him to play anymore, or I don't know that they're leaning either which way. He's playing, or he will play, or he won't. But that's this time is kind of running out, so they want him to get him healthy and before the end of the year. And actually, I had a question about Ian Happ as a Gold Glover. What do you guys think about that?
He had some great defensive plays today.
Does it look like I'm patting Ryan on the head a little bit this way? Yeah, I thought I had who you got. I thought I had who you got today.
Do you think? Did you?
Yeah, he was asking about Ian Happ.
Yeah. You had Horner.
I had Horner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who had Happ?
No one had Happ.
I thought he said who had Happ.
No one had Happ today.
What? No, I said. So Ross kind of post game mentioned Happ, possibly being among the Gold Glove conversation, or in the Gold Glove discussion. That's what I'm asking. What do you guys think of Ian Happ as a Gold Glover?
I mean, left field, I've always said this, like when we used to complain about Schwarber, you're not talking about elite defenders generally. So to think Ian Happ is one of the better defensive left fielders, I can buy that.
Yeah.
I can buy that. He's more athletic than most people you see playing in left field.
He's made some nice catches. He had good catches today, too.
He's improved defensively for sure.
Yeah. definitely. I think it's mainly because he's playing in one position and one position only.
Yeah.
The Cubs tried to move him around. They tried to turn him into their own Ben Zobrist when he came up. Now he's playing one position. He's playing that one position really well. I mean, we're going to get to the end of the year and we'll be like, well, at least Ian Happ gave us some smiles this year. Oh, naked guy's coming out.
Yeah, they did.
He's back.
There he is.
Oh, he was actually wearing
he's
a
stretching.
He's actually
stretching. Oh, no.
I was wearing a shirt the other day.
He was wearing a shirt the other day?
It was a first.
He put his leg up on the railing.
He just put his other leg up, put the
They're
other
both
leg down.
up there. He's stretching the hammies.
Oh, my God.
And he's
smoking a heater.
And smoking a heater. I don't even want to look anymore because I don't know what I'm going to see.
He's still standing.
It's terrifying.
Anyway, Max, he says at least the weather was nice today. Hey,
yeah,
positive vibes, baby. Tomorrow, Friday. Weird. It's not 120.
Yeah, right?
We should
2:30
protest
pregame show.
outside the marquee. If it is Friday, we play at 120 and 120 only. No earlier, no later. Like it is 120. That is what we do here.
Now there is something to watch for tomorrow. Smiley versus future Cub Carlos Rodon.
Oh, there you go.
This might be this might be their big evaluation of Rodon.
Big evaluation. Like we haven't seen enough.
We've seen enough.
Yeah.
I think isn't it also Sunday Night Baseball this Sunday?
Yeah.
I think it is.
They're on Sunday Night Baseball this weekend.
Sweet. Against the NFL.
Can't wait for us to, get embarrassed on national television.
No one will be watching. It's just the first Sunday of football season.
Yeah.
Who's going to be looking at it?
I mean, we covered
Cody
pretty
won.
much everything. Anything else you got, Ryan, before we sign off? It's just that was a
won.
tough loss. Tough loss.
Yeah, Cody won. Hey, I was going to come in here and roast Luke because 2 of Nico's hits were probably should have been outs, but
I didn't even win.
Yeah, Cody. I was gonna say,
But I did slide
Cody,
in a third with my tongue out. That's probably a half a point.
He did slide into third. with his
Vibes
tongue out.
wise, my guy.
He did have the
delivered.
vibes today. He did have the vibes.
You showed Corey's meme, right? The one he put on Twitter.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah,
we did. Yeah.
The Jordan tongue out thing. All right, good. Yeah, no, Cody won. Cody won. So back to what am I?
All right.
Score 23.
Updated score. 23 for me. Luke with 20. Ryan with 18. Corey with 2. Kevin 1.5. Joey 1. Maverick 1. Rachel 1.
Protest 4. Anyways.
A lot of game left, folks. A lot of game left.
Not really that much left. And the bid to 63 still 6 away from getting to the magic number of 63.
And
we are done with. Are we done with the Reds? Are we done with the Reds for the season?
No, I think they play the Reds some more.
One more time? Six more against the Reds?
6 times the season.
That was a gut punch I didn't need right there. 6 more games against the Reds.
Hopefully we don't
Yikes.
have to just beat the Reds to get to 63. I need
battle for
63
third.
wins.
It is the battle for third.
Something like that. Whatever.
All right. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging around and sticking with us today. And we will be back tomorrow again. Pregame show at 2:30, and we'll have postgame after Rodon versus Smiley at Wrigley Field. Thanks for checking out the CHGO postgame show presented by PointsBet. Use the promo code CHGO when you sign up to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. The
Rams money
NFL's
line.
back, but we're not going anywhere, so stay with us.